Well, happy Monday, everybody. How is it starting off? How's this week starting off for you? Well, if I'm going to be honest, I am dragging today. If you watched my video last week, you knew that I was in Honduras all of last week. We didn't get back until Friday night, late Friday night. And kind of had Saturday off to wash clothes, get some things ready, and then back to church. Back to church yesterday, and now Monday back to work. So, it's like hitting the ground running and not feeling 100% and just pushing through. So anyway, let me catch you up a little bit on my trip to Honduras. It was really good. This was, I believe, my 8th time down there. We've taken teams every time, and then we had a 3-year hold because of COVID. We weren't able to go on any missions trips. We've been all over the world, different countries, but Honduras is one of those places where we we believe in all the missionaries where we go, where we take a trip to. But Honduras is just one of those trips that it's easy to take a large group. We love the vision and the mission and the purpose of what's taking place there. There's a kids camp, and there's a lot of construction going on. Too much to go into in this short little video, but it's a great trip and relatively easy to get there and plan everything out. But you know that there was a hurricane right a couple days before we left for this trip, and there were many other things that happened in our life personally and in many of the team members' lives that really tried to hinder us from getting there. And even the day of the trip, we took a large group from Alabama, from a church in Alabama, and a group from here in Florida, and we were to meet up with them in Miami and then go on into San Pedro Sula, Honduras. And the Florida trip, the Florida team had a lot of hiccups. Our flight was delayed out of Tampa, which caused us to miss our connecting flight in Miami, and they told us that they weren't going to have enough seats to get us on there, and that it was going to take probably a few days to get all of us down there, just a few at a time. And it was a long day, and the Lord did a miraculous thing, and there were enough seats for us. Once we got to Miami, we did have to take a later flight, but there was enough seats for us miraculously, and we were able to get into the country. And so the Alabama team had some hiccups too, but they got there ahead of us, and we got in real late last Saturday night, and then met up Sunday and just hit the ground running all week long. And it was a fabulous trip. The Lord, as always, did miraculous, amazing things in our life and through our lives to minister to the people, the precious people of that country. They are precious. And and of course, it's life-changing for every member that goes. If I would say anything to anyone, that in your lifetime, you need to take at least one missions trip to a third world country. It's easy to take a missions trip to Europe. Their standard of living is very similar to ours, so it's an easy trip. It's like a vacation. But a third world country will change your perspective. It will change your life, and it doesn't matter how many times I have gone. Every time I go back to Honduras, it's life-changing, and it challenges my perspective. When you see people living in the poverty that they live in, we think that we know what poverty is here in America. And, there are people that do live in poverty. But those who live in poverty here still are rich compared to those in poverty in Honduras. And I can't even describe what it's like. And to go there and to minister to them and to help feed them and pray for them and hear their stories, it's heart-wrenching. It will just tear you up, and it makes you feel so guilty and so blessed. When I come back, every time I come back from Honduras to America, I feel guilty, and part of me even is angry that I am so spoiled, angry that so many others in our country are so spoiled and feel entitled. And so when I hear someone complain that they have, I don't know, no money to go get their nails done, or maybe a flat tire, or whatever, something really silly, and they act like it's this big deal and they can't go on with life, and I get angry because I see what people live like, how people live in another country, and what they do without, and what we think are necessities are really blessings in America. We'll complain about a flat tire and we have to go buy another tire, but we forget that we have a car. We have a car. We'll complain that insurance has gone up, but we have a car. That is a blessing. We think it's a necessity, but it's not. When you see people walking miles and miles and miles just to gather firewood to go back and cook their meal for dinner, or riding on a horse or a bicycle, or piled into the back of a truck, or taking a bus, this is how they live, and we think that we're entitled to a vehicle. Anyway, preaching a sermon, don't mean to go into all of that. Well, part of me does mean to go into it, but what I want to encourage everyone today, it's real easy as someone to come back recently from a missions trip and to tell you all of these sad stories, but the thing is, you can't understand it unless you are actually there and you experience it for yourself. So it doesn't matter what I say, but what I want to encourage you with today is found in Philippians chapter 4, verse 11. Paul is the ultimate missionary. Paul went around all over the places to plant churches and to preach the gospel. And he sacrificed his life. He did without. He walked. He was beaten many times. He was thrown into prison. And he claims in Philippians 4:11 that he is content in whatever circumstances that he finds himself in. How often are we content? I'm still emotional from this trip. It's going to take me a few weeks to really start working through this. And I also hope that I don't work through this. I want to always be tender-hearted to this topic and to this situation, because when we are, then we acknowledge the blessings upon our life that God gives us each and every day. The blessings of our family, the blessings of our health, the blessings of our home, electricity, air conditioning. These are all blessings. The blessing to be able to go and attend a church service that we take for granted, and we just don't even go because, well, it's just there and I can go another time, or I can watch online. Shame on us. Shame on us that we feel this entitled. You can tell some of my anger's coming out right now, y'all. Sorry. But I just want to encourage you today to see the blessings in your life, to be content in all things. Be content. To be challenged by God, to be a missionary wherever you are, to spread the love, to spread the gospel, to spread the good news of the Lord's salvation to other people's lives, but to be content and happy where you are. Because you live a really good life. I live a really good life. And so I'm going to stop complaining, I'm going to stop grumbling, and I'm going to give thanks to the Lord today. Happy Monday. Be happy that you're facing another Monday today. And I hope that you find this message a little challenging, a little in your face. That's just kind of where I am today, and that it helps change your perspective today and every day. Love you guys, praying for you guys. Have a great week.